Hello everyone. I think everybody will agree that raising the minimum wage sounds great. Higher income, better quality of life. But critics argue that it leads to job loss. So who's right? Today we're breaking down the economics behind this debate by asking one core question. What happens to employment when cost of labor goes up? To answer that, we need to understand how firms think, how they minimize cost while producing the same output. Let's dive in. Every firm, whether it's a large factory or a small coffee shop, wants to produce goods at the lowest cost possible. That means choosing the right mix of inputs based on prices. What are inputs? Labor, machines, materials, etc. Think of a manager tasked with making 1,000 pencils. She can use more labor or more machines. Her goal, minimize costs while keeping the same output. That's cost minimization in action. So let's quickly define the types of costs businesses care about. First, we have fixed costs that don't change with output, like keeping the lights on, for example. Then we have variable costs that do change, like wages or materials. Then we have opportunity costs, which is what a business gives up when using a resource in one way instead of another. Then there's sunk costs, which are money that the business has spent that cannot be recovered, that needs to be ignored when making future decisions. Finally, we have depreciation, which is the drop in value of a durable asset like a machine over time. Let's say a pencil factory owns a $100,000 machine. That loses $1,000 in value each month. That $1,000, well, that's a monthly cost, even though there's no money exchanging hands. In the short run, firms are stuck with some inputs, like buildings or machines, and can only adjust others, like labor. So if you need to make more stuff, you need to hire more people. That might be your only option. But in the long run, all inputs are flexible. You can swap labor for machines, machine for laborers, and find the cheapest mix. This flexibility is key to understanding how firms react to changes like minimum wage hikes. Graphically, firms use isoquants, which are curves showing combinations of labor and capital that produce the same output. And they compare them to isocost lines, which are combinations that cost the same. The tangent point is where the firm gets the most efficient result for their budget. At that point, this equation must hold. Your labor divided by your wage rate must equal your capital divided by your rent rate. Translation of this, the output per dollar of labor must equal the output per dollar of capital. If not, the firm can reallocate resources and get more output for less cost. Let's apply this to the real world. In 2014, Seattle decided to raise its minimum wage to $15 per hour. Let's say a janitorial firm could clean floors using 6 workers and basic mops, or 3 workers and a modern floor machine. If wages go up but machine prices stay the same, labor becomes relatively more expensive, and firms naturally shift towards using more machines and fewer workers. This shift is called input substitution. It doesn't mean zero jobs, but it does mean fewer jobs if capital can replace labor. And it depends on the industry. Let's say a barber shop can replace a barber with a robot, at least for now. But a warehouse might be able to install more automation. So, will raising the minimum wage reduce employment? Yes. In many cases, if firms can substitute cheaper inputs, it will reduce employment. So, what have we learned today? We have learned that firms minimize cost to stay profitable. They also adjust the mix of labor and capital based on prices. When labor becomes more expensive, machines often replace workers. That's why raising minimum wage can lead to lower employment. Though the size of that effect depends on how easy it is to substitute labor with capital. The bottom line, economics does not say raising the minimum wage is bad. It says that there are trade-offs. Whether those trade-offs are worth it, it's a policy question. But for now, you know the economics behind these decisions. Thank you very much for your time, everyone.